Welcome back to Inside Out, mental health at work and in life. I have been thinking a lot about perception in the workplace. How is it that two people working in the same organization, sometimes even in the same team, can have completely different experiences of what it is like to work there? I have seen this firsthand in the one-to-one assessments I run for mental health first aid qualifications. Since we introduced these qualifications 5 years ago, I have conducted over 1,000 assessments. Before that, when we ran the old mental health first aid course, there were no individual assessments, meaning we never had the same opportunity to hear directly from each participant about their perspectives and workplace experiences. The shift to these assessments has provided invaluable insights that would have otherwise been missed. It has been such a privilege to hear so many unique perspectives and experiences. Once a group completes their online learning, I sit down with each person for their one-to-one assessment. Two of the final questions I ask always lead to insightful and thought-provoking discussions. What can an employer do to create a good mental health culture? What can an employee do to create a good mental health culture? Simple questions, right? But the range of answers is huge. And after they respond, we usually have 10 to 15 minutes to chat more openly about their workplace. Where is their organisation at right now? What is working well? What could be better? And perhaps most interestingly, how much influence do they feel they actually have to make things better? And that is where things get really interesting. Why do people experience the same workplace so differently? In larger organisations, the variation in perception is even bigger. Some people tell me things are generally good. They get on well with colleagues, they like their work, and although they agree that more conversations around mental health would be helpful, they feel progress is happening. Then I speak to someone else in the same organisation, and they have a totally different experience. They feel unsupported, disconnected from leadership, or like their concerns are being ignored. They see major gaps in how mental health is addressed. So what is going on here? At first it might seem obvious. We all bring different experiences, personal histories, and past workplaces into our current jobs, which shape how we see things. But I don't think the real question is why these differences exist. The real question is, what do we do about them? I don't think most organizations have created a space where employees can truly be honest about their experiences. Group discussions, team check-ins, or even one-to-ones with managers are all valuable practices, but they often only capture surface-level feedback. Those with good relationships with their managers may feel comfortable sharing useful insights. But even then, the challenge remains. Will that feedback make it further up the chain? Managers may be unable or may simply forget to pass it on, leaving leadership disconnected from the reality of employees' experiences. Let's be real. We are living in a time where conversations are more polarized and divisive than ever. Being open and honest, even in everyday life, feels difficult. Having the emotional intelligence to agree to disagree, to have constructive discussions about difficult topics, is something many people struggle with, especially at work. Even if an organization brings in an external facilitator, like me, people still hold back. They are still in a group setting. They still have those fears about how they will be perceived, how their words might be interpreted, or whether speaking up will actually make a difference. What if the answer is one-to-one conversations? Lately, I have been wondering if one-to-one conversations with someone external, where employees can share freely, anonymously, and without fear, could be the missing piece. But here is the issue. I don't know a single organization thinking this way. It probably seems too expensive, too time-consuming, too difficult to implement. Instead, companies rely on anonymous surveys. But let's be honest, how many people actually fill them out? And for those who do, how many believe their feedback will lead to real change? This is where frustration sets in. And another thing, words on a page don't always capture the full story. The written word doesn't always carry the same emotion, nuance, or weight as something said out loud. Could AI help capture these voices? Now, I know AI can be a bit of a buzzword, but hear me out. What if every employee had the opportunity to share their experiences in a one-to-one setting, and in the background, an AI tool could capture common themes, patterns, and insights? Imagine if leadership teams could get a real, unfiltered look at the challenges, successes, and ideas coming from their own workforce without employees having to worry about judgment, backlash, or office politics. But again, would an organisation really approve one-to-ones with thousands of employees? Probably not. And yet, my experience in these one-to-one assessments tells me something really important. Leadership teams are missing out on powerful insights. Every single person in a workplace, no matter how big or small, has something valuable to contribute. Some people have incredible ideas for improving workplace well-being. Others see things that are working, but have even better suggestions for how to improve them. Many feel frustrated because they know exactly what needs to change, but their voices never seem to be heard. So how much are leadership teams missing simply because they don't hear from their own people? What would happen if organizations truly invested in listening? So, here is my challenge to you. Next time you hear about a workplace survey or a focus group, ask yourself, are employees actually being heard? Or are organizations only capturing fragments of the truth? If you are a leader, what are you doing to make sure every voice in your organization is valued? And if you are an employee, what would make you feel truly heard? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Send us a message, share your experiences, and let's keep this conversation going. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might find it useful. And remember, real change starts with listening. Until next time, take care and keep questioning the world around you.